Hey everyone, it's Damon with Living in the OC. Here with Mom, Cynthia, designer to the stars in Orange County. Say hi, Mom.
Hi, everybody. Guess what?
What?
We did finally get that one unit we were telling you about. For all of you that have listened to our video about being hopeful, it took us a year and a half in court being patient. And as of today, we are starting the demolition. We already filmed the interior of it. We'll maybe insert some flashbacks of that. But we're going to walk you inside and show you what's happening. Flooring is coming out. So super important that you have the homeowner association, follow the regulations, test for asbestos, get permits.
Boy, is the homeowner association been fun down here.
Strict, very, very strict, because this is a retirement community. But it's okay. You want to do it the right way. Anything electrical or plumbing, you really have to follow it and make sure that everything is to code. So we're going to walk inside. Lots of noise, lots of
noise
things
because
happening.
they're ripping out flooring.
There it is.
Yeah,
you can hear it. It's jackhammering. All the floors are being replaced with new vinyl and carpeting. Everything's being painted. All new appliances. So I'll see if I can get him to stop for just a minute so that we can walk through. Okay. So here we are inside. If you can look down on the floor, already this morning, all the carpeting has come out. First we had to test underneath because sometimes in older construction, they had linoleum or they had a mastic or a glue that had asbestos in it. So you must come in. We've already had the samples taken and tested for asbestos.
They already came in?
They came in already this morning. And so now we can go ahead. If you look, swing around here, here is what's happening to the old tile floor that was cracked. And fortunately, it's coming out fairly easily. I always smile because everybody thinks, oh, it's so fun and design is so easy and simple. It's not. It's a lot of hard work and
Slide to your right just for a minute, Mom.
a lot of construction.
The other, sorry.
The other right.
Yeah,
You're right.
That on the floor. Yeah, that's okay. I just want to see so they can get a good view of,
It's
of the floor
painstaking.
coming out.
We've turned off the compressors, some of the compressors, but all this has to be literally jackhammered out. Here's what it looks like before it comes out in the kitchen.
Right.
See,
Try not to hit my head on the
light
chandelier.
Yeah. Those lights are not going on for some reason.
Okay.
So that's the other thing. You have electrical problems, and with the ceilings, you cannot do any electrical work if there's asbestos in this popcorn ceiling, because even we want to put cam lights in, but if you're disturbing that ceiling, you have to make sure that it's either mudded over or you have an abatement crew come in and remove all the popcorn. We're going to probably remove all the popcorn because they had in the unit that's upstairs, this is a condo, they had a water leak and that damaged some of the ceilings here. Even the wall in the living room here.
Let's give them a shot of the flooring. They've already taken the flooring up.
Yeah.
So this was all carpet in here.
And this is
come out.
some of the damage from the water leak from upstairs. This is all just not any good. So all
Try to
this
zoom in
wall
on
board,
that.
all the wall board here has to come out.
Right.
You can't just patch over something like this. This piece of wall board has to be replaced. So one of the things you want to do is make sure you start with your ceilings and your electrical work.
So they're going to take the popcorn off the ceilings.
Right?
That's going to be next week at some
Next
point.
week, that's, yes. And then they come in and they'll paint everything, do the baseboards, and the vinyl floors go in, appliances come in, and any work that's being done in the bathrooms. We're going to try to slide these are old slide-in plastic units. So we're going to try to slide those out, because this is a community for people 55 and over. Usually they don't like a bathtub.
Sure.
It's too dangerous to step over. So
Yeah.
we're going to take out the tub and put in a walk-in. So even a a wheelchair could go into.
Do we want to take them into the back bedroom?
Sure.
Have they pulled the flooring out of there yet or
Yes,
not?
we started doing that. I'll
Okay.
try to do this
All right. Yeah.
following here.
Yeah. We're trying to exactly. We're rolling and yeah, we don't have the best footwear on today, but that's okay too.
Yeah.
So it looks like they've already taken out the
Yes.
carpet in the bedrooms. Let me just get a quick shot of that. So the floorings come up, and this is the first guest room that's already come out.
This is a unit that was put in here. It's only it's inexpensive and it's warping, and so we're going to take this out, and it makes the room too small. One of the things we do have to do is we have to put a sliding closet door here because somebody removed that.
Okay.
That's code.
Let's show them the back bedroom, the master, and then
out came the carpet
and
here.
then they're still working on the bathroom here too. But okay, so as we come into the master, you can see again the floorings come up here. Good progress for first day.
And we've had trouble with these. These are called mini splits.
Mini splits.
And the compressor outside, we had to order a new board because there was an electrical problem. That's going to be taken care of next week. They do not have softening and they don't have vents here. So you have to use mini splits. The
anything to look at in here? Carpeting in here is going to come
not
out.
quite out, but I want to show the bathroom, the
Yeah.
slide in, and then we'll show them as we progress with that.
Sure. So here's the entry bathroom.
And these,
We're thinking if we can get it in the budget, we're going to try to take these showers out too.
yeah, they punched some of the wall board out in here because in these units, these are, if you can hear it, it's really plastic instead of a tile. And people don't like these tubs. So when we take out this flooring is the time to replace this shower. So we're going to try to redo, if we've got enough money in the budget, we want to pull this out and make it so that even if somebody had a wheelchair, they could come in here and go into the shower with a wheelchair. We're going to probably, because the countertops are nice, we will probably redo the vanities, paint them out, and put new knobs and pulls and what have you. And things like this, the fan's broken, the light. So there are electrical problems. And the other thing we have is a problem that I just realized is that in the kitchen here, there is, everybody wants ice cube maker.
Right.
And here's where the refrigerator goes.
Right.
And there is not any water line.
There's no water line.
So we have to go over to the association and figure out, I will probably run it from the sink. While the floor's bashed out, we'll groove out an area and run the water line here because everybody wants to have a water dispenser and an ice maker.
Yeah.
Over here, to show we're selecting backsplash. We're going to add
I
some
think that's
backsplash.
going to look really
for
good.
some-
That's, what do you
for
call
some
that, herringbone?
herringbone. And it's a beveled glass, so I think it'll be really nice. So we'll come back and show you next week what's happening, and we'll be able to do all kinds of painting and that kind of thing. So we'll see you in a bit.
Yeah, we'll give you an update next week. Okay, guys. Hey everyone, it's Damon with Living in the OC here with Mom Cindy. Say hi, Mom.
Hi guys.
So we're doing a weekly update for you down here at our project that we have going in Laguna Woods. We have a lot going on.
Really a lot. One of the things that for people that you're trying to do things by yourself, take notes here because this is where a lot of people on their own make huge mistakes. Number one is getting permitted through the association, through the city. There are very, very specific little steps that you have to take. And then you always have to plan for the unforeseen, which is when you start taking things apart behind the walls, underneath the popcorn ceilings, etc. you end up finding problems. That requires a work stop and work orders and getting people in. So it never, ever, ever goes as quickly as you would like it to. The last time we were here, we were stepping over the pile of tile that we had been knocking out in the entryway. So I don't know, we'll turn the camera around and show you some of the things that
turn the
happen.
camera around. Let me go ahead and hit stop here for a minute.
Okay, but we were here last time. This was a pile of ceramic tile, and we had to have a hazmat team come in. If you look up, all of the ceilings have been scraped. They all had asbestos. The bathrooms had asbestos. And one of the problems that we've discovered in here is when you see something like this, you know you're getting some kind of a water leak. And sure enough, when we came in and started putting the cam lighting in here, we noticed that this water was sort of draining this direction, and then from a pipe here, it's not even a plumbing pipe, it's a venting pipe, is dropping right here. Here's a new fresh water drop.
So we actually have an inspector coming from
He'll be here.
From the HOA, so if he shows up while we're filming, you'll understand why.
Now we have to, this is coming from the unit upstairs. We can't mud the ceilings and put the paint and everything. We can't start to put it back together when we have a definite problem that can be a problem in the future. One of the ways that you can figure out that this is a venting problem is, we'll come out here, let me show you. If you take and trace that, and it's one of the, you have to be a little bit of a detective with some of this. And if you're lucky and you have really, really nice shutters like this, keep them, they're great. But let me show you out here what's happening.
All right, we're gonna come outside
Come
here.
outside and we're gonna trace that line and look what's over here. See, directly in the line inside where there's a water problem are these vents. And apparently maybe somebody had a problem with it before because somebody has put kind of a little lip there to catch some of the moisture. Maybe it's condensation from an HVAC unit or something, and they didn't want that water to come down here and drip down the windows. So
Right.
we're just sort of MacGyvering this and trying to figure out what in the world is the matter right now.
But it's good, you can see out here as we've had a bunch of the work done, they had to take all the toilets out of the bathrooms. We'll show you.
And we've also decided, because there's been some water damage and things down here, if you look down, we are going to resurface this with something that looks like a gray slate to make this look more finished.
We just picked out that flooring the other night. It's going to be delivered in a couple days. It's going to look
here.
really sweet.
Yes. One of our other decisions was, I'm going to turn off a couple of lights in here.
Oh, you want to talk about the lights?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just.
There was never any lighting in this room.
So we just had our electrician come in a couple days ago, and this room was really, really dark.
We always try to put in good lighting. That's what this is like in here.
It's the middle of the afternoon right now down here, and without, you can see the difference. It's super dark in this room. So we just had 14 lights altogether.
Put in. And the other thing you want to do is you want to have a dimmer switch. It only costs about $30, but add a dimmer switch, because at night when you're watching TV, this might be nice, but if you're trying to read or something, you want to turn the lights up.
That's great, yeah.
One of the other things we decided to do, you have to have kind of a game plan. We're going to have sort of a light wood-looking flooring going in here. The only carpeting will be in the 2 bedrooms. And this is a bit of a dated look for the fireplace.
You don't have the flooring sample, do you? It's okay. It's all right. Well, they'll see it eventually.
I do. They'll see it when it's all done.
So
All this is coming out.
for the fireplace.
The fireplace. The only thing we're keeping the hearth. And then from the hearth up, all of this is coming out. And I don't know if you can see these pieces here.
Oh yeah.
Those are the pieces
Let me
that are going.
zoom in on it for a minute.
It so happens that these, if you put two of them together, it takes 2 across exactly and 3 down to reach the hearth. So it'll be a very contemporary, sleek, back against the wall, just sort of frame out this fireplace. That's always wonderful when you have a fireplace. Here's one of the other problems. I think we had maybe mentioned we didn't know about these
Mini splits.
mini splits, and it ended up that whoever had wired them incorrectly so that it burned out the main compressor. So now, because of that, we can't use any of the system. So they just shipped today. We're putting in a whole new mini split system, and we can't really paint the walls here until we get the new one, because what if it's smaller? And then you have to fill in on the wall space.
And we're trying to do everything within our budget too. And
there you go.
we've had a good time trying to get our budget squared away. And let's give a shout out to Peter on the East Coast. Peter is one of our financial partners on this venture.
And you have to take into consideration the location, what the comps are in the area, what things.
Well, let's give Peter a shout out for a minute. Peter Vexelman is our partner out of Atlanta.
Yes.
And we've known them for a little over a year now. So he's our partner on this one. So we just want to give Peter a shout out.
And he's been very patient with our problems with plumbing and the homeowners association.
Our editor can find him on the internet. If you Google partner driven Peter Vexelman out of Atlanta, Georgia, you'll be able to find him. Yeah, he's our partner on this deal.
Yes. So this will end up being beautiful porcelain tiles, ceiling to hearth, and then I'm going to wallpaper that wall. So this becomes the accent wall when you walk into here. We also have decided one of the things that people have done with this particular model, and we'll turn on these lights.
Yep,
You can see
extra lights.
We've had to add lighting here. Interesting thing that I just learned about these lights. You know, there is bright white light and there's a soft light. Some people are very preferential about one of the other of those. These will adjust either way. You have a little adapter on the top, so if you like the clear, bright white light.
Right, so they have the bright white, or you can do the softer.
Soft light.
Yeah. Pretty cool. But anyway, you were going to start talking about this wall.
Some people take out this wall. Well, of course, that's easier to do if it's an upper unit, but you've got all the weight of that upper condo.
Exactly.
Here. And it's a lot more expensive, and time-wise, it's a problem.
And as far as the permits go here, that's been our big obstacle. We're 5-6 weeks in now, and just getting the permits to be able to. Well, first of all, we had to get
a hazmat team in here to get the asbestos out of the popcorn. It was also in the glue in the bathroom.
You can see on the ceilings now, all the popcorn's off of the ceilings.
So the next step, and that's the reason that these lights are hanging down the way they are, is that we have to mud the ceiling and refinish this whole ceiling. But we can't do that with a leak, with a problem here. We have to figure this out before we can mud. You can't paint until the ceilings are mudded and painted. So everything has to go in sequence.
Right.
But back to this wall, one of the reasons people take it out is to open this space up to the kitchen so it seems more open. Because if you're right here in the dining room, let's say this is the middle of the room, and you put a dining room table here and you put some chairs, it feels cramped. So what I'm going to do instead of taking the wall out is I'm going to build a banquette that comes along this wall and turns and comes out to about where this is just sitting here at the moment. So that you'll be actually sitting here, and this whole space is going to
feel more open. Right?
So we are achieving that same open space without having to go through tearing out all the cabinets, this wall, months.
It would have been another permitting nightmare as well.
Exactly.
Just to get it approved here.
And then here's another thing that happens. Sometimes they put down old vinyl flooring, And underneath
This flooring's coming out, yeah?
this is going to be ripped out, yes. And what we're doing is we're repainting everything, even inside the cabinets. Let's come here and look in here.
Yeah.
This looks pretty disgusting. Look at this.
Well, sure.
It's
I mean,
been
it's gonna
used.
have to be.
So when you have a cabinet guy come and give you a bid to paint when you're renovating, you have him paint inside the cabinets and outside. Take the doors off. And this one in particular has a little piece here that's coming unglued. I don't know if you can see this. It's like a veneer. And so this has to be repaired. And sometimes, and the door isn't shut, the hinge isn't right.
It's just 100 little
A million little details.
Yeah.
And somebody painted over an oil-based paint and without priming it, and here's what happens. There's how your paint
Just peels
sets.
right off.
So this all has to be sanded and primed because you want to do it right. You don't want to sell something to somebody that's going to have problems. While it's gutted and stripped down, this is the time that you want to do all of that.
You showed him the porcelain for the fireplace.
I
We already
did,
showed
yes.
That.
And
So
this is
even
really basically a wonderful kitchen.
the kitchens, we're not gonna
We're
do
not-
a lot with the.
But
We're gonna do
putting in
backsplash,
all new appliances.
all new appliances.
And because of the grays, here's what we're going to put up as a backsplash, and I think that's going to be really nice.
Yeah, it's gonna look sweet.
It'll be fun. We'll you know, as we're doing this and the new flooring goes down and the carpet and everything, all the appliances are coming out, and we're replacing them with stainless steel appliances. This is a dishwasher. Everything's working, so we'll maybe give them to Habitat for Humanity or something. Somebody can get for $5 or something, get a microwave that they can build in.
But the crown molding's already in here. Looks
It isn't
good.
in the rest of the place.
On the
Depends
rest,
on our
yeah.
budget. Once we get done, that'll be the last
But
thing.
here in the kitchen, it looks good though.
It looks great here. One of the things that I'm going to do is, if you look up at the ceiling here, where the crown molding ends, always paint that part of the ceiling a light
A
shade
lighter color.
of like a pale gray
Uh-huh.
to match your backsplash, which makes your crown molding stand out, because this is gorgeous. It's stacked 3 moldings high.
Right.
So I want that to show off.
Yep.
And then we had showed you a crazy vent. I don't know where, oh, it's over here. Let me grab it.
Oh yeah, so this thing was just a cover, right?
Well, this was the craziest
So,
thing.
yeah, so when...
We didn't know what this was, and it didn't fit the space, right? It was sitting here kind of weirdly, and it didn't really work, and I didn't know what it was. Well, it was a vent for the shower.
For the shower, yeah.
I've got
Well,
to grab a call.
like we've said before, Mom, her phone never stops ringing.
Well, I want to see if this is
So-
a repairman.
Yeah, you can. Okay, we're back rolling again. So
Okay,
Mom's
that was
offered
a
her phone call.
delivery person that's taking and delivering the tile in a couple days to do the whole patio.
Yeah.
But anyway, this wall, when you walk in, is an accent. I call it an accent
Yeah.
wall, and I want it to be different, but I don't want to spend a huge amount of money on it. So what I'm going to do is take strips of wood, thin, not too thick strips, and I'm going to put them like this, about a 3-inch piece, and leave them 1.5 inches apart, and then I'll come back over the top so that it looks stacked on top of each other. It'll give this wall a whole textured look, and then we'll just paint it. So you can create, without spending thousands of dollars, you can make it look very, very finished and very nice. In here was one of our other big, big problems that we've had, and it's kind of a mess. Laughingly, when the guys took out all these floors, they also took out all the toilets. So you've got crews working here and no
You have
place
no
to go
way
to the bathroom.
and you don't want them going out in the bushes.
No, so we went ahead and I had my plumber. You can look down at the little wedges,
Yeah,
the
so
shims
they-
that are
right.
on the floor.
Right.
There to just hold it up
Well-
so that we can use it for a month or through how many weeks, while the workmen are here. We'll have one toilet that works.
As
But
you can see with the asbestos job that they did, they've already ripped the whole shower out.
yes,
But when they did that, we've had another fun problem come up.
yes, here's the other problem. You come over here, Damon, look at this. This is Damon's idea. This is
Wow.
Well, look at this. Can you see the water dripping? See right here? Can you hear it? When this was all torn out, they said, oh, you have a leak. Well, I think we had a leak because of the way what happened. I think they banged and hit this valve. So now we had to go and find something
Had to run to Home Depot
find a funnel
and find a funnel.
so that we're not getting water and dampness everywhere. I had to wait until I could get the new valves
Yeah.
for this shower.
So the
and
asbestos
the other.
guy calls us and says, oh, you know, everything's done, but oh, by the way, we found a leak in your shower. Wow.
Hello. Yes. So that's okay. And we're going to put in a beautiful porcelain slab that has matching patterns here that'll be floor to ceiling, wrap all the way around here. This was a tub, but because this is for people 55 and over, many of them have walkers or need to sit in a like a wheelchair in the shower, have a shower chair. What we're doing is we're just going to put a small step over here because it's harder for people to climb out of tubs. And then we're going to build a seat here so that they can come into the shower, sit down. We'll have a handheld that they can use and sit down and shower here. This wall is going to be a gorgeous wallpaper. Everything will be painted, and this will be part of the new flooring. And interestingly, this is going to be a new vanity. It actually doesn't look too bad, but it's very dated. And so we're not going to do all
The new
this.
vanities that we have coming in are going to look really good.
So they told me yesterday that from 9:15 in the morning through 5 o'clock yesterday, the vanity would arrive. And I get here at 9 to just be here in time, and it's already sitting outside in front of the garage.
They just dropped it on
They
the
just
on the
dropped it
drive.
off and left.
Yeah.
So I was able to get the garage open, and fortunately it wasn't so big. I was able to just kind of shimmy it, muscle it, and get it into the garage. And we're going to put in new faucets here. And so this, and we had
Do
to
we
also
want to give
get,
away our design secrets? Not yet, probably.
well, and listen to this fan. Whoops, wrong button.
Yeah, that's going to need to be fixed.
So, not so good. So what we're going to do here is replace this and put in a fan that's a fan, a light, and a heater at the same time. It's all one unit. It's already vented. Goodness, wouldn't that be interesting if some of the moisture from here is what's venting out through the living room and causing some of that moisture problem?
I don't know if it's connected.
I don't know
I think
if it
we
is
think
either.
it's coming from
I think it's
upstairs.
further than, I think it is from upstairs also.
Okay, so
Okay.
bedrooms.
And now here's the other bedroom. And look at these rooms. See with the new cam lights?
Yeah,
What
I
this
mean,
room is like without.
Super dark without, well, we have the blinds shut though too, but the new
Yes.
cam lights are really making a big difference.
This is a unit that we're tearing
We're gonna
out that
take
was
that out,
built
right?
in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the closet's behind you, but the closet there has no door. And these are the doors from the master. I'm going to wallpaper here. I can get a really pretty look without having to pay to put mirrors. This would probably cost me $800 to do the mirrors. And for $200 or $300, I can do the wallpaper. And I think it'll still have a pretty look. I think I'm going to paint these edges because there's some gold in the wallpaper. I think I'm going to go and like go to Home Depot or something and just get a really pretty gold paint and paint out these. They're kind of worn here. Those are the little detail things you just can't leave.
Right.
As well as replacing knobs and pulls. That's huge for giving an updated look. We're very blessed that all of these, I don't know if you can turn around here, all of the shutters here are well done. They were expensive and they're really in nice shape.
They're in good shape, right?
So we get to keep those, yes.
Uh-huh.
Even turn the light off right there and see how, even with the shade open, can you do that? See how dark it is still in this room?
It's dark.
That's how the people that lived here, that's how dark it was all the time. So these, the cam lights are probably one of the best investments that you can actually make. We have lots of patches in the ceiling for running the electrical Fortunately, I don't think we have any water damage in here. So that's all good. In this room, we'll have carpet, and of course, everything will be painted. So the bedrooms are usually the easier ones to do.
Sure.
And then in here in the master, we all have, down here, if you can point the camera down, even though they took out the tile, the people that did the demolition didn't take out the thin set. And this is the tough part. This you have to almost jackhammer out. So the rest of this entryway has to still be jackhammered before the new tile flooring can go down. Here is the master. It also was dark. So once
Four
again,
new lights in here too, right?
we got all new lights,
Yeah.
and again, you put them on a dimmer at night, maybe light, and this is
I love the dimmer though. It's so nice.
all new baseboards in here because all the baseboards were different heights. And sometimes you'd come around, there'd be a baseboard and then it would be missing. So we're going to put in new baseboards.
Second mini split here that's going to be coming out.
And this one
We
doesn't
just
work
ordered
either.
those mini splits. They were coming from back east somewhere
They
too.
shipped this morning.
And so
And
hopefully within the next 3 or 4 days, those will be here.
that needs to go in. We need to figure out the leak in the
That's
ceiling.
been a whole story in itself, just trying to get the issue of the compressor fixed up. But we realized it was going to be cheaper and more efficient to just replace it, right?
Well, I don't want to fix something that's not going to stay operable for any
Right. And
period of time.
these units have been in here for what?
Since 07.
07.
And so it's time to, I want
Replace
whoever
them.
buys this place, because there'll be somebody who's in a retirement age, not to have to worry about it. I want them to have the right light, so they're not tripping. I want the air conditioner to work. I want them to have heat in the winter time. I want it to be done correctly.
Right.
You always never cut a corner where 6 months down the road, the people that have bought it have problems.
Exactly.
That's not okay. That's not.
Well, that's
something-
why we're dealing with that water issue today.
Yes.
That's something, all the unforeseen stuff that comes up as you get into it. So
We are
here we're
going
just
to-
stacking all of our supplies or stuff that we're going to be installing.
Yes. Here's one of the pretty things that I want to show you. We want
Love this.
to bring in gold on the
Here,
back
let me
here.
zoom in on that. That thing is so cool.
And we're now putting in this brushed brass fixtures. All this is going over here. All the wallpaper has to come out. We've ordered another new sink and unit here. And so this is what will go in here. There's gonna be, and I told you those closet doors that I'm gonna wallpaper that have gold are going to go right here.
So what's fun
On
about
this
this
wall.
too is that our audience here, which is, by the way, over 98,000 people now, which is remarkable in itself.
For our YouTube channel.
For our YouTube channel. Yeah,
Okay.
we're almost at 100K.
Wow.
And we're gonna get our nice little plaque from YouTube when we hit that mark
Where are we gonna put that?
in the office.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But where was I going with that? Oh, that they can see the before and after. It's like a lot of these shows, they'll pack the whole thing into a half an hour episode, and you'll get to see like Tarek and HGTV
Right.
when they do a whole job that takes them 90 days
And you see it
or
in half an
100
hour,
days,
or an
and you
hour.
see the whole thing in a half an hour.
Right. Right.
So
So there are many, many decisions. One of the things I wanted to do is in here, we're replacing the shower. It'll all be porcelain walls, which will be beautiful. And then I wanted to put something on the floor, which we're going to use this. It's like a pebble, and it has a little bit of the gold in it. I
let
don't
me
know if
zoom
you
in
can.
on that a little bit.
No, let me get in the light here a little bit
Yeah.
more, where you can see some of the gold.
Right.
Okay, that's how you try to pull it together. That ties in with this. And then in the shower, this is going to be some of the tile that's going in the shower on the wall. We will have an accent. You can get this piece and cut it in half and only make it 6 inches wide. And then you have twice as much for the same price. So this is going to go along with these over here. See the gold and some of the grays. that will be the accent. Half of it, like this, will go around the shower as an accent.
It's gonna look so sweet, yeah. I love that gold color.
I do. It's coming back.
And big time.
And this is so funny in here. Look at this. This whole unit we're gonna have to replace. Look at this.
Yeah.
This is so pathetic.
So that we just bought 2 new fans for the bathrooms the other day.
You have to have heat and light and a fan for the moisture.
The older people this is a retirement community, so they're senior citizens and they love having the heat in the bathroom.
Yes.
For winter time, and then this whole thing's got to be patched up.
Yes, and there was another water problem here.
So here's where they ripped the other toilet out.
And when they took the toilet out, the guys, the hazmat people, broke the bolt that bolts the toilet on this side in the flange. So now we've got to take out the whole flange.
Do we want to show them the shower really fast while I'm
It's really
tight. It's a little tight in here. But yeah, so you can see here.
Look at this. There's no way you can leave this.
Let me make sure I'm a wide angle here. Yeah, okay.
You can't leave these. So we got beautiful to go with the gold. I actually brought it today. I'll show you the shower head. And this is too low. I'm not especially tall, and this is going to hit me in the face. So this is coming up here so that you can get your head underneath it. And these aren't mounted correctly. They need to have this piece of wood on the back side here. See the vibration you can get here? That is not good. This piece of wood was supposed to be on the back side.
Right.
So that's another thing. It's the pluses and the minuses of pulling things apart. You get to see the good stuff, and then you also find the stuff that was done incorrectly. And this is the time to fix it and make it right, which we will. Yeah. We'll do that.
Okay, everyone, so we just had a couple of guys from the crew,
the plumbers,
with the HOA come over to sort of diagnose what they think's going on with the roof here, the ceiling, excuse me.
Well, it's kind of interesting because I already told them that it's not a plumbing problem. It's not a water line, but anytime it involves moisture, they first have to send the plumbers. So the plumbers came and told us that it's not a plumbing problem, which we already know. It was interesting because we could ask them about the showers. We have to shut off all the units. There's 6 units to do our plumbing. And so you have to get everybody's approval, and they will only let your plumber work 2 hours at a time, and then they have to turn the water on. So if you have 2 different showers, maybe you have to turn it off 2 different times. So it becomes complicated.
Well, and unfortunately with these units, the plumbing goes for the whole building. So in order to work on our unit here, they have to shut off the water for all the other residents in this building. And so trying to do it on like a Saturday is going to make
He wants to come on the weekend, and you can't do it on the weekend according to the homeowners association.
Very, very unhappy to have no water on a Saturday.
So that's my next step, is call my plumber, find out when HOA will turn the water off for me, and then have him schedule around that, I guess, and see how much he can get done. They showed me the main line. It is like 60 years old, and they're afraid that when they crank it down, often apparently, it breaks. So these guys who were just here, the plumbers, would then have to shut the main valve from the city off and put in a new line there. That might give us a little more time to work. I don't know. That maybe is a good thing in the long run. But anyway, there's where you are. That's why when you think these things are quick and easy, they aren't. They're complicated. If you do it right, you can cover this stuff up and hope that it doesn't show up for a while, but it's not right. And so we're going to fix this so that whoever it is, the person who moves in here, is not going to have a problem with it.
And they're going to end up with a fabulous place by the time we get done.
It's going to be pretty fabulous. Yes, it is. So what we're going to do now is we'll sign off for today. We'll let you know when the plumbers are coming and when we start doing all of the tile and the floors and that kind of thing. We'll just keep sending you little bits and pieces so you can see this all come together. It is kind of fun and exciting. I said to Damon, we're still in the moving backwards stage where we're tearing things out and finding out what's wrong and getting into the problems. we haven't gotten to the point where you start doing the fun part where you put it back together and build and have it be wonderful. But we'll get there. We will.
Just takes a lot of patience.
It does. I have more patience than he does.
Yeah, that's true. That's why it's good to have us together as partners on this. So
Yes.
we play good cop, bad cop a lot. It's fun.
Yes.
Anyway, Damon with Living in the OC, local realtor and investor, here with Mom, designer to the stars in Orange County. It's been another fun episode giving
Yes.
you this update.
Yes.
All of our contact information will be below in the description. Go ahead and give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, set up that Zoom meeting. There's a little link on the top of the page there now to do the Zoom meetings for a half an hour consultation. We'd love to talk to you. This is fun for us. These are fun projects.
It is. Well, it's like Cinderella story. You know, you come in and there are all kinds of problems and things that have been neglected for many, many decades sometimes. And then to have it be just beautiful is really rewarding. And then to be able to know that somebody, especially here, where it's a retired couple that will come in and just be able to have everything perfect for them and enjoy it for as long as they have to enjoy it. So it's good.
Our small issues are, number one, staying on budget. Number two, the time crunch. Because if this drags out for too long, we're going to get into the holiday season and we don't want that. So there is the time factor that we're trying to get this done as quickly as we can.
So we're heading over to the HOA right now before they close down today to see when we can turn all the water off and get the showers taken care of. That's
anyway, thank you guys for tuning in, all 98,000 plus of you. By the time this thing gets released, we may be at over 100,000.
Amazing.
And
Simply
if
amazing.
and when that happens fairly soon here, I'll show you guys the plaque when we get in the mail from YouTube. That'll be kind of cool.
All right.
But thank you. And God bless you guys. We'll see you on the next one.
See you next week.